Good morning, friends around the world. I'm back again. Thank you for joining me today. I've come on with a couple of updates, really, of what I've been doing. Because I haven't managed to post on my regular Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I seem to have gone astray, as they say. So I just thought I'd come on and tell you what I've been up to. I started a project that involved these. And I wish I had smell-o-vision, because they are filled with, I guess get those out of the way for a second. They are filled with aromatherapy essential oils. And they smell delicious because I've done a specific blend. But where I was going with this idea was, when did I start? I started actually, I think, when I originally started this project was, I don't really know where my thinking was, but I decided to do some stamping onto some of that calico that I seem to have so much of. I'd been dyeing some calico with natural plant extracts, but then I decided to do some stamping, and I actually thought, do you know what, I really like that. And these were the darker ones, the darker part of the actual calico, because some's really cream, some's a little bit not cream but darker cream. Anyway, so I ended up doing a whole, get that up the right way, lots of strips of these calico, and I printed all on them with just a brown ink. And then I thought, do you know what, I really enjoy doing those. So as I was going through that project, and I've done different stamps and all the rest of it, I really kind of liked the idea of then using them. And I did think lavender bags. But then I thought, well, why should I do lavender? Everybody does lavender. I can do lavender, but why should I do lavender? So I then said to myself, well, yes, why would you do lavender when you're actually an aromatherapist by trade? So that got me thinking. So whilst I was thinking about that, and I put it out as I do, I have a ponder in the world of out there with my thoughts, and sorry, I'm just having my breakfast. Not quite a green juice, but not quite cream either. I put my question out to my own head. What can I do that's different? And I'm sure many of you struggle with that question. What can I do that's different, that expresses who I am? And I thought, well, my question was, how do I use my aromatherapy skills or my blending skills, essential oil blending skills, with the crafting side? And then I came up with it. Well, I didn't eventually. Whilst that was brewing, whilst that thought was brewing, because sometimes it can take days, I'll ask a question, and this is where I say I talk to the universe, I talk to that you can't see. And I always do it. I've done it for years, and I will continue to do it. I posed the question to myself, obviously, and that was the question: how can I use the skills of blending essential oils into my craft work? So as that, I then let go of that question, and I moved on. I thought, do you know what, whilst I'm waiting for that to bubble up from inside and come up with a solution, I am going to make some tags out of this material. So I got these little dinner money envelopes that I've got a stash of. So I'll make some pockets while I'm waiting for my little brain to bubble up the ideas. And it could take days sometimes. When I ask a question, I let go and I just wait. So I got these, and then I started putting on the cards, the little flower cards that I've produced. And those actually are available on my Etsy shop. And then in this case, I stapled it to some of that material that I stamped, and then sewed it to the pocket itself. I've done different types. This one I've done, again, I've glued it, glued it, and I stapled it actually, first of all, and then I glued this bit on the top. And then you've still got your pocket that you can put something in if I'm going to use these in a journal. So I had a bit of an afternoon. That one was actually stapled on to the actual front part, and then I've stitched on the flap with some lovely crocosmia. Actually, it's beautiful. And that one was those stamped images. Now I've made some more of these little pockets ready for part 2 of this project. So I went off on a tangent waiting for my brain to talk to me. I then did some more, so you've got plenty of space for writing, etc. So whilst I was doing this, obviously my brain was brewing an answer, and it came up with one, and there's another one. But I'm still in the middle of this project, so I just started that because I knew I needed to distract myself so that the answer would come, because if I was focusing on it, I knew the answer wouldn't come. So I have to let go and just get on with something else. So what came to me was, and I don't know where I got this idea from. I've been trying to think since, actually, where did I get this idea from? And I don't rightly know, because I've known it for years. And I used to do it, but not for projects like this, for something completely different. And it was rice, just cheapo rice, and essential oils. So in here, there is 240 grams of rice. And I've then blended into here a specific blend. Recipe is on lockdown. I'm not telling you the recipe. This one is the stress blend. So I've added the appropriate amount of essential oils, and I'm now going to let it brew in this little glass cauldron. Go on, have a smell. There you go, look, have a smell. Oh, it's so delicious, and it is. That was actually coming up real good. So I now need to let that brew and stand, and I've worked it out that it's about 3 weeks. For all of those grains, I nearly said grains of sand then, all of those rice grains to absorb the essential oils. Now, this one is the calming blend, and that's the one I've started off with that I'm going to use, that I did use actually in here. So the great thing is that obviously rice doesn't go off because it's a dry grain. The other good part is that it does absorb fragrance really, really well. Oh, that just smells so yummy. I just want to pin it under my nose. So this is the calming blend. And then what I decided to do, after I'd done 4, I tried to look for the pins. What do you call those? The pins with, I think they're called ball pins, or what you put charms on. But I can't find mine anywhere. So I've had to order some more. So that's fine. I'm okay with that. Let's just put those over there for a second. I'm okay with that, but I've got to wait now. But while I was doing that, thinking, well, that's great. Purpose? What's the purpose of them? So the purpose is that you can hang them, and I'll put a charm on. You could hang them on your handbag. You could hang them on a belt. You could hang them on your journal. You could pin it to your journal because they're not heavy. This is it's less than 1 gram, I should say, because it's rice and it's so flexible and it's, it's not stiff and it bends and you can, manipulate it. So, I come to the conclusion, as my brain started to then explode with ideas, because you go from nothing, I don't know about you, but you go from no ideas to like so many, you don't know what to do with them all. So I had this monsoon of information coming through my brain. So I made some more, tried to get the size accurate because I haven't done them. I've just eyeballed them. These are slightly smaller. I might not use these ones, but anyway. And I'm going to do a batch of 4. That's the theory anyway. And the 4 are going to be the 4 are going to be calming, stress, balancing and uplifting. And the pack of 4 will then be available on my Etsy shop. And each blend is specific. It's tailored for that specific title. So the usage then can be anywhere. You could even take this into the office and have it in your drawer, and every time you get a little bit overwhelmed maybe or too much going on, you pick up one that you like and have a good old sniff. Oh, it's just so delicious. Not only, and here are the facts about essential oils generally, scientifically proven, we know that it's really good for your well-being. We know that. It's been scientifically proven. I do like that one. It's very pretty. We also know that it's the quickest way to get anybody uplifted is through the sense of fragrance. And we also know a lot of other stuff about why it's good for you. It's not only you that it's good for though. Essential oils and the sense of smell. It doesn't only change how you feel, it changes the vibration within your energy field. Not only does it change the vibration within your energy field, it also changes the vibration within the room or the space that you have that particular fragrance. And so I'm not going to go too more technical on that. Basically, it changes the atmosphere. But I'm not going to go into the scientific side of it. You can Google that because that's what Google's for, right? So I decided that's going to be a great project. Be it that I've now got to wait for more ball pins to come so I can attach a charm to each one of these. And then I'm going to do them up as packs of 4. And they'll all be different backgrounds because they're hand printed. Stamped. And in no rhyme, no reason, random. It's all random. It's just random, really. And I really enjoyed doing them. And again, like anything, this particular one looks a bit heavy going, thinking, oh my God, that is so busy on there. But when you've got it into little chunks, because this one was quite busy, it doesn't look so busy. So using up this as the scraps from this and doing that onto it, stamping onto it, I loved it. I really enjoyed doing it. I loved creating something from that blank canvas, literally. And no, you don't have to use brown ink. I mean, I have because I want that kind of vintagey feel. You could use any colour ink. And actually, you could actually dye the fabric, and I have got some dyed fabric, but I wanted the creamy kind of background. So that's what I've been up to there. And today I'm going out in to do the pots in the container garden because they've gone ballistic. And I've got Swiss chard coming out of my ears. My wheatgrass has gone ballistic indoors, my hydroponic wheatgrass, so I've got to drink loads of wheatgrass in the next couple of days, which is partially what's in this drink down here. But I've just got so much of it. It's just all the trays have come alive all at the same time, which is not what I wanted, but that's how it is. So again, I think I'm just going to have to do less trays, start less trays off per week, or drink more wheatgrass. I'm not quite sure which. So I hope that's given you some inspiration. And these can be used again. You don't have to use them on presents. You can use them in a journal because they're not that heavy. Or put them in a pocket. Yeah, so that's my little update for you. And that's really what I've been doing. Oh, I haven't. I've been doing something else. I actually yesterday thought I was going to continue with this project and ended up doing a massive clear out and clean of my wealth corner, which just happens to be in my bedroom. And people are saying, what is she talking about? Well, it's on the side of, and here's the 3 dictative words, Feng Shui, and Feng Shui. So however you pronounce it in wherever your location is, I was doing my wealth and prosperity corner yesterday. It wasn't a plan, it just came to me. And normally I wouldn't clean not that it was majorly dirty, but I did all the walls, the ceilings, I did everything. Took everything off the table and recalibrated it vibrationally and put all my intention on there. All my new intentions. But normally the new intention side is fine because we've just gone through a new moon. However, I normally wouldn't clear out and clean on a new moon. I'd normally do that on a full moon to get rid of clutter and dust and dirt. Not that there was much, but there were a few cobwebs in the corner from that have gathered. So I suddenly found myself doing that yesterday, and actually last night the vibration in there was so clear, it was incredible. It took me about 3 hours, not that it was dirty or bad or anything. When I shift an area or I change an area, because I'm so aligned and in tune with vibrations, whether that be people, buildings, houses, whatever, land, and I'm sensitive to it, very, very sensitive to it. I didn't want to do it all quickly because as the vibration changed, it would have upset every other balance, everything else in the room, and I have to sleep in there. So I took my time over changing it all slowly so the vibration didn't erupt badly and cause a problem. But for those of you that don't understand vibrations and energy, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about. But that's fine. I'm okay with that. This is for those of you that do understand what being an empath is and energy and vibration and etc. So that's what I ended up doing for 3 hours yesterday. And I have to say, it felt so... And I walked in the room after being out. I went out and did some other jobs and chores. And I went back in the room and I thought, wow, that is such a difference. It felt lighter, it felt clearer, it felt fresh, it felt expanded. Oh, it was just this beautiful feeling. And I thought, yeah, I've got it right. It needed clearing out because it had gone stagnant. And I could see that from the income flow, from the income flowing in and flowing out of my life. I could tell that something was getting clogged up along the way. And that's the vibration, that's changed it. It's and I'm waiting for that one to really show some increase now, which is awesome. I'm excited about how that's going to show up and where it's going to show up and when it's going to show up. So that links into the law of manifesting, people, if you don't know what I'm talking about. So that's what happened yesterday. And today I'm going to go out and do some container gardening, as I said, simply because we had a bucket load of rain. And it really did chuck it down yesterday. And I'm really grateful when it rains. I love the rain because I don't have to water my plants. And it can, and it fills up the water butt that I've got outside. And because I'm on a water meter, my plant pots outside take 18 litres of water when they're dry. And that's a lot, in context of water, it's not a lot, but it is when you have to pay for it. On the meter, rather than one bill, I have to pay for what I use, which is how it was in Australia. I'm used to it, but it isn't cost effective when you have to water so many plants. But that's okay because I've now got a water butt. And yesterday, because it chucked it down, I've got other buckets that I save water in as well. And then that'll be the postman. And then I put that into the water butt. So I'm trying to get it up because it's a 100-litre one. I'm trying to collect the rainwater now, ready for the summer. So I'm going out there because some of the plants, I don't know why, have died, but they have. And some have bolted. I mean, my radish have got beautiful flowers on, but I'm sure there's no radish at the bottom at the end. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. A lot of them, some of them, well, I won't say all of them, but a lot of the plants have bolted. They've just done so flipping well, but they've gone too quick at being so well. So I've got to go and replant some of those pots and take out what's in there. So that's what I'm up to today. I hope you're having an amazing day or evening wherever you are in the world. Remember to stay inspired and stay blessed. And hope you'll join me again soon for maybe another chit chat, maybe some container gardening, maybe some creative work. Thank you, my friends. Namaste.